How sad. What an unfortunate end you've met, you poor, poor mortal. I saw the whole thing. It hardly seems fair, does it? You escaped the attack on your home, forced to flee into the countryside at night, only to be slain by some highway bandit. Perhaps you would have been better off facing the attackers instead. I can't help but feel a little bit responsible. I am Oranth, goddess of the night. I watch over all those who walk through the darkness. You're not a worshipper of mine, nor did you even offer a prayer to me before fleeing into the night. But I mourn your misfortune all the same. I hope to one day reverse the fear that people have of the dark. Darkness can hide dangers, of course, but it can also hide you from them. With a close understanding of how to move through the night, it could become a time of safety, not of terror. Oh, but now listen to me, talking about my goals to a mortal slowly dying of blood loss. You're not interested in any of that, are you? But I do have one thing to say that may be of interest to you. I can save you. I truly do pity you, and I'd like to help, even though you're mortally wounded. I know of a way to heal you. So perceptive, even in the state you're in. You're well versed in the ways of the gods, I see. Yes, there is something I want in return. But, in this case, it's not a simple trade. The thing I would ask of you is absolutely necessary to save you. Have you heard that you can enter into pacts with gods? Swearing an oath to one can create a connection to them, through which divine power can flow into your body. As it happens, entering into a high-level pact with me grants powerful healing. But I warn you, it is a very high-level pact. You would have to swear to serve me for your entire life. Breaking your oath would return you to the state you were in before, and you would die. It's not a decision to be made lightly. Perhaps it's not even worth it to you. You would continue to live, yes, but you would not be living for yourself. Your life would be devoted solely to me. Your will subsumed by mine. Some would argue that such an existence doesn't even really count as living. Oh, I do have many servants who have found fulfillment in obedience. And I know that you have a deeper reason to hesitate my offer. You're a worshipper of Ra, the sun god, are you not? Of course you are. You were fleeing an assault on Ra's temple, after all. Based on your clothing, I'd say you're a part of the clergy, even. Am I correct? As I suspected. And in that case, you know full well that Ra and I are bitter enemies. To swear an oath to me would be to turn your back on your god. Or at least, that's what you've been told. The truth is very different from what you've been taught, though I'm afraid I can't speak of it unless you swear your oath to me. You'll certainly die without the oath. But there are individuals in the afterlife that I would not want to hear of this. All I can tell you for now is that Ra and I aren't as opposed as you might think. another important piece of this truth is that your temple wasn't quite so aligned with Rao's will as you would have liked to believe. Doesn't it seem strange to you that in the temple's greatest hour of need, there is no divine aid to be seen? I can say no more, but think on that with what little time you have left. Just how certain are you that you were taught the truth? Oh, absolutely, you're right. Aside from being associated with night, I'm known as a goddess of deception. You can't trust a single thing I say. Not completely. But can you not trust your own memories? Did nothing seem off? And you can know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you will die without my help. Do you wish to end this life not knowing for certain whether I'm speaking the truth? You won't find the answers you seek in the afterlife, I'm afraid. As a servant of mine, you would have access to many secrets. For secrets, too, lie within my domain. The ability to detect deception and uncover hidden truths is something many mortals would pay any price for. And I know for a fact that you've had many secrets hidden from you. I can smell it on you. The deception that has surrounded you your whole life. You should not find that surprising. The brightest lights cast the darkest shadows, and there is no brighter light than the sun god himself. Are you truly content to pass on without knowing what lies within those dark shadows, always at the corners of your vision? I am a goddess of many things, deceit and secrets among them, but a goddess of evil? Never. I'm not evil, mortal. My domain is an important one. Within the domain of night is rest, and I am worshipped by the weary and overburdened. I provide them with revitalization and comfort. Is that the behavior of an evil deity? Also within my domain is concealment. Yes, criminals wish to be hidden in the night, but so do the oppressed. I hide away the weak who are pursued by the strong. What do you think of that? Is that evil? I have many things to offer you, mortal, and in my service, you will be able to do many good things for people that need them. I am not the evil being that you have been made to believe I am. If you are willing to take a step into the darkness, I can prove to you that in time. Oh, so you can be reasonable after all. Good. Someday you'll realize how wise you were to agree. The oath goes as follows. Aranth, goddess of night, I pledge my heart to your will, my tongue to your worship, my arm to your defense, and my soul to your darkness. From this night on, I name you mistress. Speak those words with the intent to live by them, and you will receive my power. Oh, very good. You've done wonderfully, my child. I'm so glad to be able to call you that. You belong to me now, and already you're seeing the benefits. That awful wound will soon be completely gone, with not so much as a scar left over. You must feel so relieved. To die is a frightening thing, and you were right on the verge of it. You're very lucky, you know. Then, perhaps some thanks are in order. You've yet to express any gratitude to me for saving you. You've been my servant for less than a minute, and already you're acting out. Still, I don't mind a little cheek. You can't truly defy me and live, so I have nothing to fear from a bit of grumbling. But keep this in mind for the future. It doesn't matter whether I gain something from it or not. When I help you, you thank me. Do it right now, just so you can start forming the habit. Say, thank you, my mistress. If you don't comply, I'll consider it a violation of your oath. Very, very good. You're learning. This is going to be oh so much fun. I think I'll enjoy having you around. Oh yes, did I never mention it? I'm not simply turning you loose. You're coming with me. Your new home is in my glorious Midnight Palace. I don't imagine you'd rather just wander around outside until I call for you. You don't have anywhere else to go, do you? Don't turn down a luxurious home simply because that extra little perk wasn't mentioned in the deal. Now, come. I'll have to teach you how to shadow walk on your own, but for now it's no trouble at all for me to simply pull you through the realms to me. Now, this is my home. Isn't it so glorious and grand? Oh, of course. Right now, all the power flowing from me to you is going towards healing your wound, so you're not experiencing the other perks right now. In a few moments, you'll even be able to see in perfect darkness, and all of this will be clearly visible to you. I suppose that means you can't see me at all yet, then? A shame. I wanted to see your reaction to me right after arriving here. Ah, so you can tell at least that much. Yes, I am very big. My physical form is highly variable, but I like this best. I do confess that I enjoy towering over mortals. Think of it as a guilty pleasure. Ah, is it getting a little bit clearer? Good. Then I'd like to introduce you to Moraine, another servant of mine. She's very loyal and very capable too. Consider her a mentor. Or maybe a big sister? Oh? What an accusation! Never before has anyone said something so absurd right in my court. Moraine, your attempted murderer? It couldn't possibly be true. Moraine, you're excused. I think your presence will only agitate our new faithful further. Well, I hope it was obvious that I was joking before. Yes, Moraine is indeed the one who nearly killed you. In fact, it's my followers who attacked Rao's temple. Shout every foul word at me that you like, but you must admit that I did warn you that I was a goddess of deceit. You'll have to learn to expect this from me sometimes. In fairness, I never actually lied. You just didn't ask the right questions. And everything I told you was true. The priest of Rao has lied to you about many, many things. I could tell you, but would you believe me? You'd be foolish if you did, truthfully. In time, I'll help you learn the truth for yourself, instead. Trust me or not, but you should at least trust your own eyes and ears. No, the attack wasn't all to get you to swear an oath to me. Well, it wasn't the only reason. I've had my eye on you for a while, I confess, so I did what I could to ensure you'd play into my hands. You're quite a special mortal, more special than you realize. And where would you go? You can't even leave this place without my help. It exists in its own place. Only my magic can grant entry or egress. Not that it would matter if you could, because your life is in my hands. You are completely and utterly at my mercy. It's fortunate for you that I am a very merciful goddess. You can't recognize it yet, but you will. I told you, someday you'll see that it was a wise choice to swear the oath. Despite appearances, I'm acting in your best interests. Now, let me tell you what your new life will be like. For the time being, the most important thing you can do for me is come into your new powers. So most nights you'll be training with Marine. She'll show you what you can do and how to do it. Eventually, you'll go out on little errands for me. Simple things at first, delivering messages and the like. At some point, you'll be doing things that are more difficult, more dangerous, and along the way, I'll help you find the secrets that have been hidden from your view. Oh, and this will be important to remember. Your powers are connected to your devotion to me. They'll start out very weak, given you surely despise me at the moment, but with time, they'll grow. You strike me as an intelligent, reasonable mortal, so I'm sure you'll come to see the... see the light. Seems too ironic in this case. More like, you'll see the beauty of the dark. Oh, curious are we? Very good. I like it when my followers ask questions. Seeking the truth in the darkness is a major tenet of mine. I'll save some of it as a surprise, but I suppose you should get a basic idea of what powers you'll gain. I mentioned shadow walking before. It's a method of travel, extremely useful. Essentially, so long as you remain in shadow, you can not only travel great distances in short time, but you can also pass by barriers, and even cross realms. It takes some getting used to, because you can't focus too much on your surroundings, or it won't work. You need to enter a trance of sorts. Aside from that, seeing in the dark and blending in with the shadows all are staples. Those will be relatively easy to master, and you'll gain an intuition both for detecting lies and hiding the truth from others. All these abilities are terribly useful for espionage. I'm sure you've realized. Well, that's just adorable. I'm not surprised you feel that way. The current dogma among worshippers of Rao favors straightforwardness. In time, you'll understand that there's nothing cowardly about stealth and secrecy. It's simply about doing things in the most efficient way. The so-called honorable way is a luxury of the incredibly rich and powerful who can afford to waste time, troops, or money. They extol it as a virtue to convince everyone else to allow them to retain the advantage. It's a lucky thing that you're on our side now. In all likelihood, you would have either wasted your life in your little cloister, doing menial labor, or you would have been enlisted as a paladin in the coming conflict, and lost your life in some tactless assault, as fodder thrown away at the enemy's spears. Oh yes, there most certainly will be a major conflict in the future. I, and by extension you, will be playing a large part in it. The attack on the temple was the first battle. But don't be fooled into thinking I started it. It was a preemptive strike to prevent greater losses down the line. I would have had no need for it if it were not for certain forces at play. It may seem that way for now, but you'll come to see that you're on the side of good. I may be a goddess of deceit, but I'm not evil. I simply use all tools at my disposal for the sake of the greater good. Shh. Calm yourself, my child. I favor silence in my temple, and shouting at me will not change anything. You must learn to accept my decisions. Be at peace with the way things are, and try to make the most of your situation. Oh, but even though you must accept my decisions, you needn't always take me at my word. I'll say whatever will get me what I want, after all. Feel free to try and discern my true intent. I encourage it. Just be sure not to ignore direct orders. Well, I've earned the hatred of many mortals, but I think that's the first time one has sworn revenge on me in my presence. How very brave of you. It changes nothing, of course. It's simply not in your power to kill me, nor could you take anything from me that I truly value. Plot your revenge all you like, but you still must obey my commands, unless you decide that you'd rather die than serve me. That's a decision I'll allow, but I caution against it. You should at least wait to learn a bit of the truth before you do anything so drastic. Well, I suppose that's everything, isn't it? For the time being, I'd like you to get acquainted with your new home. Feel free to wander and explore. You wouldn't be able to enter any of the places forbidden to you, even if you tried, so no need to worry about that. If you see Moraine while you explore, do be civil. She attacked you under my orders, and holds no ill will towards you herself. She will be a valuable mentor and ally to you, so best not to start off on the wrong foot, yes? If there is anything you feel that you desperately need, you only have to ask. You can simply speak it aloud. I'll hear you no matter where you are. There is only so much I can reasonably provide for you, but I'll always be willing to listen. I know you're not happy to be here, but I hope that you'll make yourself comfortable nonetheless. I'm very glad I was able to bring you to my side, and I'm very eager to see how you'll do as one of my beloved servants. Walk in shadow, my child. The night will shroud and protect you always. To all of my patrons, thank you so much for supporting me. And to my spirit guides, Derp, Zoe, Marcus, Raptor, and Wolva. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.